Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Today it's with great pride that I'm introducing the Atoll IN50 integrated amplifier. This little baby in the integrated amplifier range is so charming in its elegance and precision in its sound. It reminds me of some of the very best integrated amplifiers available, but in this little compact nimble little box. It's extremely good value, so it's never going to take on some of the rock stars in our range. But when you've got something so sonically lovely and easy to listen to, it's difficult not to be charmed by it. And at its price, absolutely stunning. So this little baby, 50 watts a channel. Not a lot, but it's more than enough to drive some compact floor standing speakers or a pair of bookshelf speakers with control and prestigious bass. The top end is lovely and detailed without being bright, but it's the mid-range, that charming kind of essence that comes through in this model that is often lost with most entry-level products. So hence why I'm so proud to be sharing it with you. Atoll's packaging for a great number of their range is all this sort of standardised form factor. Rectangular box with Atoll on the top and sides. It's the model information on the end that is delineated with a simple sort of Sharpie blue dot and the serial number. It also alludes to some of the options that can come pre-fitted in the factory as far as DACs and other modular things that Atoll have introduced. The baby integrated amplifier comes with even an optional remote control. Knowing that their entry-level CD player comes with one naturally, there's no need to double up, so it's nice. One can be purchased obviously if required, and of course the aftermarket upgrades also. The packaging again, and then an emulation of all that model information off one end. Opening anything that's just taped closed is very straightforward. The product itself is suspended inside the carton with a couple of pieces of closed cell foam. Off to one side we've got a New Zealand IEC power cord, and on the other side the user manual. It's the same manual for three in their range, the 50, 80 and 100. Lifting it out of the box is relatively straightforward. We'll actually see that it's included a remote control, which was a surprise, to be honest. I didn't think this one had. Well, that's a bonus. Now, taking it out of the foam ends, very easy, just a simple sort of lift. And then one end is taped closed. This little baby amplifier has a single power transformer and relatively modest but good quality capacitors driving the transistors. The end result means it's sonically very capable and a lovely charming sound. What makes Atoll really easy to kind of understand as we wander through the range is that the entry-level product has a single toroidal power supply, a certain number of centralized capacitors to then feed the 50 watt output. The 80 has a larger capacity to drive the transistors, more internal capacitance, and then some of the signature models, and the larger 200 has dual power supplies and an array of beautiful capacitors to feed the much larger transistors and its requirements. Looking at the front, you see a very simple yet elegant approach to their design and build. They don't try and make it too shouty. In fact, it's just going to sit there and do what it needs to do. We've got a basic screen printed model number of the IN50. We've got a simple enough on and off, along with an input selector left and right. Beside that, we've got the IR sensor for the remote control, and then centrally a traditional analog volume pot for its volume. We've got a 6 1/4 headphone output, and then a simple enough illumination for the inputs that you have selected, which are auxiliary, CD, tuner, DVD, tape in and out, as well as BP, which is the bypass input, and the DA. here, again, it's charming and simple. We have a traditional IEC power socket with a rocker switch above it. The power socket has a separate fuse beneath. The outputs are clearly labelled left and right for their binding posts and come with a plastic cap. They can easily be removed by actually just unwinding the binding post all the way, and then get your fingernails underneath it, discard them. Beneath the outputs we have a 12 volt trigger enabling it to cascade control over other products. Then we've got a twin pre-out, the bypass in, the tape in and out, and then the analog inputs marked DVD, tuner, CD and auxiliary. It's above those that we see a little module that can be removed, and this is where a phono preamp, and there's two that they do, and a DAC can be added, and again there's two that they do, in a modular way, enabling you to upgrade or keep this more current with your evolution of equipment if required. It also means that you get a wonderful sounding, very cheap product straight off the shelf that you can add quietly to as either your resources change or your finances allow for those upgrades. The amplifier has a beautiful elegance to its ventilation, and these curves are used throughout the Atoll range, right up through the signature range where we see that through the extruded aluminium heatsinks. But here we see a beautiful curve and larger holes quietly becoming smaller to give that little bit of an elegance. Again, there it is. Atoll's entry-level 50 watt stereo integrated amplifier, the IN50, unboxed here at the listening post in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.